folks, it's Friday with DJ and Brant. And of course, things are a little different today, according to DJ. How you doing, DJ?
I am blessed. We have an opportunity that I've been thinking about. And one of our guests that was supposed to be here today must have had an emergency. So
those are the best shows, when they don't show up.
That's right. So I was thinking the other day, I thought, Brant is a wonderful person.
Oh,
you have just been dropped into our world. You're such a blessing. And we know so little about you because every time I turn around, I find out more information about you. And
yes, so, my life is a mystery to many.
It is. It's very interesting because your life is a matter of how you became who you are. So Fridays with DJ and Brant, and we're going to talk about our guest, our friend that we love dearly, Brant Fricker.
Brant Fricker. To know him is to, never forget.
Okay, so Brant. All right. Yes. So where were you born?
Where was I born? I was born in Oklahoma City, but I love Texas. I love Texas, but I was born in Oklahoma City.
Well, you're multi-state anyway.
I know. I'm in Texas more than I'm in Oklahoma. That's for sure. And
I understand that. So your birthday month is in May, just like David Lovejoy.
Yeah.
And aren't y'all like Salt and Pepper brothers?
Well, yeah. David's my twin brother. I mean, come on. You got to see the resemblance there. But
I have. He's getting where he looks more like you. He's lost a lot of weight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he has lost over 100 pounds.
Well, I noticed that about Dave. And I mean, Dave, he was a sharp looking guy before, but he looks really good. He looks really good now. And I pray it's all good with him. And last time I saw him, I said, brother, you're going to have to take in those jackets. I mean, he really has had quite the body transformation, but I tell you what, it feels good not to carry around so much weight, and and
it's healthy. It's healthy. And I'm so thankful for Rhonda Roden because I know she's had a good influence about that. And it was a year ago that he was taking some tests to see about doing some weight loss and all of that. And Dell just loves him because he reminds her of Wolfman Jack.
He reminds me of Wolfman Jack.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He sounds like him.
Yeah, right. I've encouraged him to do that. We were doing some Urban Amarillo episodes, and we have more of those to air. I had to take some time off of that project to attend to my son, and so I'm very happy that everything is working out wonderfully, and I look forward to getting back to some of those Urban Amarillos. The urban voice in Amarillo deserves to have a voice. And
absolutely. And right now, it's okay that you're not doing that because politics is taking everything. And we'll see if they have me on the chat next Monday. Okay. Because usually they like to have me on right after an election because they want people all perked up again. This one's been very contentious, so we want people happy. But let's get back to our friend Brant. So little Brant was born in Oklahoma City. Did you grow up there?
I did. I grew up in Oklahoma City, Southside Oklahoma City, and started in music. I was a piano prodigy when I was 13, and that's what they said anyway. But started in marketing and music in 1983. I'm 54 now, and I'll be eligible for the senior discount, in June, right? It's 55 and up, right? Is that?
Yeah, I don't know how they figure it out or anything.
Yeah,
I'm older than you. I'm older than your mom.
I don't know about that, DJ. I don't know about, but yeah, I grew up.
So you grew up in Oklahoma City and you started playing piano and you started doing marketing. Mm-hmm. Where were you doing your marketing?
I was doing it for myself. It was a matter of necessity, you know. So was being a professional pianist. And my father had died,
Mhm.
and so our lifestyle changed. So I was going to Capitol Hill High School for a little bit. Um, they called it the ghetto school, but it was just a inner city school, and I'm glad I went. I made a lot of great friends there. Grew up in the mix, and which has paid off, you know, in life and marketing and music and television. You know, I've done the same thing all these years. It just looks different to people, you know, whether it's writing books or speaking or you know, leading worship or consulting or designing as a graphic artist, or doing workshops or radio or television or, you know, just about every kind of media you can imagine. I'm just doing one thing. I'm encouraging people. That's the driving force behind what I do, even my music. And so I know what it's like. Know what it's like to be an at-risk kid. Know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like to be prosperous. I know what it's like to be nearly homeless, and I know what it's like to build beautiful homes for myself. And so I'm coming at you right now from a beautiful mountaintop. And but yeah, I've had an incredible life, DJ. I really, really have. And the best part of my life is encouraging other people, because life is pretty empty if you live it just for yourself, you know. That gets old pretty quick. But when I was 16 years old, my mother told me that successful people make others successful. And that stuck. And I started really trying to help others become successful. And in that process, met some amazing people and have stepped into just about every dream I've ever had, to the extent I wanted to, you know. And now encouraging people, interviewing celebrities, rock stars, movie stars, authors, speakers, movers and shakers. You fit a lot of those categories to me, DJ. But yeah, I've got a very charmed life, you know. It's amazing. I have an amazing life. I really, really do. By the
What
grace.
what experience changed your life direction more? It pointed you, and it was like an aha moment
Hmm.
as to what you'd be doing.
Well, it's funny you asked that. You know, I got the nickname Dream Maker 30 plus years ago because I love to help people step into their dreams. And but what really, really was I don't want to say a fork in the road, but what was an incredible life change for me was around the age of 27. I had a wonderful, and still have a wonderful, adopted dad who married my mother when I was 16 and would adopt me when I was 27, which was such a wonderful thing, such an honor. And but he
That's
all
a sign of love.
it is. And you know, in this fatherless culture, you know, I've done a lot with at-risk kids. I've seen the effect of fatherlessness in so many communities. I've done a lot of work with the inner city community, with the Black community, some with the Hispanic community. Um, and you know, fatherlessness in America is not limited to one community. It's a problem. But
Mm.
my adopted dad, David Todd, incredible man. He got me a book called Raising a Modern Day Knight, and it taught the code of knighthood, the ancient code of knighthood, that most men have never heard before. It's live
Sure.
pure, speak truth, right wrong, and follow the king. Live pure, speak truth, right wrong, and follow the king. And I took that code personally. Something resonated in me, you know. The Frickers, the Fricker clan. I'm from the Fricker clan and the McFerrin clan. Okay. But the Fricker clan came from Frick Valley in Switzerland and were not noble, but became noble through hard work and fighting the battles of the day. And so I took that knighthood thing, and I started something called Band of Brothers in the early 2000s, and I watched it change men's lives. You know, when you hand someone a sword, changes their lives. But I use that code of knighthood with at-risk kids too. It changed their life as well. You know, gave them a code, you know, live pure. I won't put bad things in my body, my mind. Speak truth. I'll speak the truth no matter what, you know, no matter what it costs. no matter if it hurts or not. I'll say what I mean and I'll mean what I say. And those who know me, that's how I am. Right, wrong. I will right the wrongs that I can. I'll forgive people. I'll forgive myself. And if I can stand for the oppressed, I will. And follow the king. We all follow somebody. Bob Dylan had a song. It may be the devil, it may be the Lord, but you're going to have to serve somebody. Well, so I'm a man of faith. I'm not a religious man, but I am a man of faith, and I follow who I consider my king, which is God, and God is love, right? Well, I take that a step further to 4 roles for men, because if you address the heart of men, you fix all of society's problems, in my opinion. If you fix the heart of men and you empower men to be men, then women will love to be women. And let me illustrate. King, warrior, leader, lover. Provide like a king, protect like a warrior, lead like a leader, love like a lover. If men only worked on those 4 roles, you would have a different country, you'd have a different world. Provide like a king. It's so much more than money. I know what it's like to chase the money, and money eluded me when I chase it. Now it chases me down, right? When you set your heart on the right things. Provision means provision, to look ahead. What's on the horizon? Provide like a king. Secondly, protect like a warrior. No problem there. I love my family, and someone wants to hurt my family. I love my family more than I love them. And then lead like a leader. Do what you're asking your family to do. Do what you're asking the kids to do. Celebrate the creation of your being. Work and work for yourself. If it needs to be done, do it. I love being a man. And when I'm focusing on being a good man, my wife loves being a woman. So king, warrior, leader, and then lover. This world talks about love in only one way, it seems. There's so much more than eros, but when your spouse is your best friend, or you love people for who they are, not for what they can do for you. There's 2 kinds of people in this world: people who love people and use things, and people who love things and use people. And this culture is sick of leadership, and they're sick of seeing people being used because people love things more than people. I want to be a person who loves people more than things. So that code and that men's thing I started, it changed my life forever, and changed the trajectory of my life forever.
Well, you do a lot of shows on video every week.
Right.
What you doing 6 or 7 a week, including this one?
Yeah. I have a national news show called News You Can Act On, the first of its kind, and it's not a politicized show. It discusses what bills are being proposed in Washington, D.C., and it gives people a way to act on it. If your representative just heard from one person by phone or by email, they would consider that to be 1,000 people. So if 4 people in your city wants to call a representative concerned about a bill that is not conducive to humanity or America, or freedom, then they can go to actforamerica.org and take action. People from both sides of the aisle are concerned for their children and their families and their freedoms, hopefully. And so that's News You Can Act On. Then I also do Word on the Street. I interview celebrities, rock stars, movie stars, actors, writers, speakers, local heroes. They're all celebrities to me. And then, of course,
that's where I first saw you too.
Yeah.
That's because we met a year ago this month.
Wow.
It was at the KGNC 100th anniversary.
It seems like it's been longer. Yeah.
I'll never forget that moment as long as I live, because I saw you there in person. I thought, wow, they brought him in, and I didn't know from where you came. And so we talked momentarily. It was after I had been given an induction by KGNC, which was such an honor. And they had me speak first. I wanted to go last because I want to hear what everybody else did. But anyway, they called on me first, and I just and I had a lot of the broadcasters from our organization here in Amarillo that were there, and former anchormen, former technicians, salespeople. It was just a wonderful event. But I used to do stand up, as you know,
Oh yeah.
and so when we got through and everybody had spoken and we were getting cake and everything, I went up to you and I told you I'd always wanted to meet you. And I'll never forget what you said. You said, "Well, I'm glad to meet you too. Sister, you're a hoot."
Oh yeah.
I said, "Well, we ought to get together and talk." 2 weeks
and and
later,
and there it
almost
happened.
2 hours. And the goal of this show, why don't you talk about what we're trying to do?
Well, we want to promote local businesses and people that are doing good things. People
And
help people who help people. I
people are
saw,
broken, is what you were talking about. And we
yeah,
need to make them laugh. We need to make them feel better.
yeah. The statement that I made, I believe that day, was that there's a lot of people getting beat up out there. They need encouragement,
Mhm.
and it's amazing what one word of encouragement can do. I've often talked about a man who he got up one morning and he dressed in black and he was going to kill himself. And he said, if someone can give me just um, one reason not to do it, I won't do it. So he walked to this bridge and he was going to kill himself. He was going to jump off. And no one knew what was going on. People, you never know what people are going through. And he got to the bridge. He got on the ledge. He's about to jump off. And he noticed in his peripheral vision that this little girl was cute little girl being pushed in a stroller that had a red balloon, and her mother was pushing her. And just instinctively, how children love to share, and they some of them seldom meet a stranger, but reached out her arm with the balloon and gave it to the man. The mother nodded, it was okay, gave it to him as he's standing there. And they go about their way, and he steps down from the ledge and he says, I'm not going to do it. Folks, you may be the only thing that's encouraging someone to stick around today. And for those people who are people of faith, you may be the only Bible people read. I'm not a religious person, but I'm involved with worldwide religious organizations or faith humanitarian organizations. I'm in a lot of circles, but you know what? I'm not a religious person. I want to be a real person. And the God I love is a God of love. And so with that said, there's a lot of people that are being beat up out there. And I saw the humor that you had and have, and the appeal that you have, and people love you. And so I thought, you know what, it's worth the time. I didn't know that we would end up doing a little show that airs on CBS Channel 10 Tube and streamed live. But I just appreciated who you are and how much you cared for people and still do. And so, like minds think alike. People need encouragement, and life begets life, death begets death. You're one of those people that you love life, and so many people love you, DJ. So that's how we got started. And we've been able to bring attention to good causes, in Amarillo, and good businesses. Yeah.
So true. This has been a lot of fun. It's been informative.
Yeah.
And thank you for setting all this up. It wouldn't have happened without all your expertise and your knowledge, your generosity. And I'm a Fricker fan.
Well, I'm glad somebody is. I'm joking.
Oh, I am. And I want to help serve those that you serve. So
Yeah.
idea is to help and make others feel good.
Yeah.
We have an e-blast that goes out Monday through Friday through Welcome Partner. And John Miller is one of my favorite people. He and I met in Kiwanis Club. And he sends out puns on every e-blast. And he had one Friday that said, if common sense was lard, there's a lot of people that wouldn't have enough to grease a pan.
Oh my gosh, I know.
That's just putting it very frankly. So anyway, thank you for putting all these together. And thank you for sharing your family with me thus far. I want to know more as we go along. I want to know how I can help.
Well,
And
thank you.
You have the book about the red pill, and you
Red
need to
Pill
give
Prophet. Yeah.
you need to give me new artwork for our website.
I know you've only asked me many weeks, and I put out that book to help people. I combine the theory of relativity with ancient writings and scripture, and I really do live a successful life, a free life, by the grace of God. I don't have any fear. I don't have any anxiety. I don't have any health problems. I don't have any money problems. I'm very grateful, and I live a life of contribution. You do reap what you sow, folks, and
That's
good or
right.
bad,
Good or
happy or
bad.
sad.
We had a minister one time, and I called him. I was president of a Sunday school class, and I told him that he was the David Letterman of ministers because he always had a list. And so when he was talking about you reap what you sow, he said there's 3 rules about you reap what you sow. Number 1, you always reap what you sow, good or bad.
Yeah.
Number 2, you always reap what you sow, good or bad, later. And 3, you always reap what you sow, good or bad. I think it was the always part. And
Always.
it was so true. And it happened to me. I had somebody who really treated me awful just because they didn't like me. And they cost me a job. I was a single mom, and I was working 3 jobs, doing welcome partner, and then working as a food broker. And then in the evenings, I was playing piano bar at the Sheridan Hotel, which
Oh,
became
wow.
the hotel here. And
Another thing we have in common. Wow.
she came into the bar, and her son was a bartender, and she started pointing over to me playing the piano. And every time that woman was in the room with me, something bad was going to happen to me. And I thought, I
Wow.
just got fired. And sure enough, the next morning I got a call from the hotel. Well, we're going to go in a different direction for music. You need to come get your equipment this evening, because I had a synthesizer down there and some of my music. And so I went in, and a lady that ended up becoming one of my dearest friends was playing piano, and she's playing the same songs I was playing.
Wow.
And it was just because this woman had threatened to cost the hotel some business if they didn't get rid of me. Well, it was easy to get rid of me. And so I complained to one of my best friends, not thinking about my best friend also worked with that woman. And I was just venting because I worked so hard to provide for my daughter. And so anyway, the lady went to her boss, and she said, did you realize that so-and-so did this to DJ? And he said, well, what does she do here? Well, she does sales, talking about that woman. And he was new in his position as president. And he said, well, see how good she's doing in sales. And so the lady's name was Patricia. Patricia came back with the sales reports, and he
Right.
looked at it and he said, let's put her on straight commission. And so she went from, and this is in the 80s, she went from
Wow.
making $35,000 a month or a year to her next check was $15. And so she
Wow.
quit. I had nothing to do with it. I kept my hands off of it, but it took place always later. And it was good or bad. Just keep your hands off of it. If somebody does you wrong, always stand up for what you believe in, but don't go messing with the retribution. Let God handle it. He will, and it'll be done correctly, and it'll be more divisively. So you're a man who stands tall. You stand up for what you believe in. You have a tendency to implode instead of explode. I want you to be careful with that. And also, you're like a comet. You're soaring overhead. You're handling all of these things, but make sure you take time for you, because you are a special, special gift to all of us, and we love you dearly. Our welcome partner team really loves you. And
Appreciate that. Means more than you know.
You coming into our world is such a gift. And I want you to take care of yourself, but Google Brant Fricker, get the name right. Oh my goodness. His first name's Travis. Travis Brant Fricker.
Yeah, dad wanted Travis, mom wanted Brant, and mom got her way. So it's
Yeah, I'm
Travis Brant
Dolus
Fricker, but I
Day.
was I was raised by Brant, you know.
But I want people to get to know you and treasure you like I do. This last year has been such a blessing for me, Brent,
Oh,
and I want to thank you for being in my life. And there's nothing I would ever say no to you about. In fact, I think over the years I've only asked 2 people to play my baby grand piano, and you're one of them.
that's a big deal. I'm
It
honored.
is. It's a big deal. I've had other people go there and sit down, and I do that, you know. So no, you're
An
a
honor.
treasure.
It's an
You're a
honor.
treasure.
And you're,
So thank you for letting us interview you this time.
well, thank
Learn a little
you.
bit more about you, and
What a delight.
I think it would be really neat on the screen when you do the Brant Fricker production that you put the code of the knighthood
Yeah.
on the screen, because I think that people are going to want to remember that.
I think at this season of my life, um, I'm going to do more of that for our children. And, you know, Osama bin Laden said that children prefer this, they'll choose the stronger horse. And I saw this graphic of this, you know, type of individual that's not the best example for our children. And then the next to it was this warrior on a horse with a sword. Well, children need pictures. People think in pictures anyway, but children need role models, and they need to see knights. So do girls. A man needs to learn how to be a modern day knight, and a woman needs to learn how to spot one and to fulfill her mission as well. And so, you know, there's not an addiction problem or a child sex trafficking problem
Mhm.
or a domestic abuse problem or a substance problem or a murder problem. There's not most of your problems if you address the heart of the man. And if we can get them before they're 10 years old, they'll gravitate towards and usually stick with what they learn. So this next season of my life, I'm focusing on our kids. I've lived out every dream I've ever had, to the extent I wanted to, and I'm still alive. And so I'm excited for this next season. I thought someone younger would do it, but no one else is showing up to do it. So I'm going to do it, and you'll know more on what I'm talking about very soon. So anyway, I'm focusing on our kids now, and
So count on me to help.
I will. We love you, folks. Be good to each other. DJ, love you, and you do reap what you sow. It's a universal law. I think I've reaped all the bad I've done. I think I have, and I don't want to sow anymore. Hurt. I want to only sow good things, you know. But I'm very grateful to live the life I live. It's an adventure, and I pray that for you folks too, and you, DJ. So
Thank
love
you.
you all. We'll see you next time when it's Friday.